Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to add text behind moving objects in Adobe Premiere Pro. Let's jump right in and explore these techniques. This method allows you to manually control and be precise. It does take a bit more effort, but the results are definitely worth it. First things first, you'll want to import your video into Adobe Premiere Pro. Simply drag and drop your video file into the project panel and then add it to the timeline. Next, let's add some text. You can do this by going to the Type tool icon in the toolbar, then click anywhere on your video. For this tutorial, I'm going to type Studio 27. Next, make sure to extend the text layer to the full length of the video clip. You can do this by simply dragging the edge of the text layer in the timeline until it matches the length of the video layers. To move and adjust the position of your text, click on the Selection tool from the toolbar. You can then drag the text to wherever you want it on the screen. You can also change the position and style of your text by going to the upper right corner of your screen, clicking on Workspaces, and selecting Editing. Then, select your text and make adjustments in the Align and Transform section. You can change the text style, color, and opacity here as well. Now, we need to duplicate the video layer. Hold down the Alt key on your keyboard, click on your video in the timeline, and drag it above the text layer. This creates a duplicate video layer. Next, head over to Effect Controls. If you don't see the Effect Controls panel, go to Window and select Effect Controls, or simply press Shift+5. Under Opacity, set the opacity to 95% so that you can see the text underneath. Now, we're going to create a mask around the object you want the text to appear behind. Click on the Pen tool in the Effect Controls panel and start drawing around the object. To zoom in and make your mask more accurate, change the Fit section at the bottom of your preview panel. Once your mask is in place, don't forget to click the Toggle Animation button next to Mask Path. This will allow you to animate the mask as the object moves in the video. Now click the Go to Out button to move to the end of your video. You'll need to adjust the mask by clicking on the mask path again and tweaking the lines to match the movement of the object. You can temporarily hide the text by clicking the eye icon next to the text layer to make this easier. Once you're happy with the mask, unhide the text by clicking the eye icon again and change the opacity of the duplicated video layer back to 100%. Set the mask feather to 0 to create a smooth edge around the masked object. Click on the mask and use the Step Forward 1 frame button to check each frame and ensure your mask is accurately tracking the object. Make any necessary adjustments as you go. For a more realistic 3D effect, you can add a drop shadow from the Effects panel. Adjust the opacity, direction, distance, and softness of the shadow to get the look you want. To make the text appear as though it's really standing behind the object and not moving unnaturally, you can change its position and scale. Go back to the Effect Controls panel and under Motion, adjust the position and scale of the text until it fits perfectly within the scene. Let's move on to the second method, automatic masking using the mask tracker in Adobe Premiere Pro. This method can save you a lot of time, but it does have its limitations. Again, we need to duplicate the video layer. Next, click on the duplicated video layer. Go to Effect Controls and select the Pen tool under the Opacity section. Use the Pen tool to trace the object you want the text to appear behind. Before we begin tracking, make sure your video is at the first frame of the clip. Then, in the Effect Controls panel, change the tracking method to Position, Scale, and Rotation, and enable the preview. This setting tells Premiere Pro to track not just the position of the object, but also any changes in size and orientation. Now, click the Track Selected Mask Forward icon and let Premiere Pro do its thing. The software will start tracking the object as it moves through the video. As you can see, this method isn't always perfect. The mask tracker may not accurately follow the object, especially if the object moves quickly, changes shape, or is partially obscured. In some cases, it might not work at all, depending on the complexity of the video or project. While the automatic mask tracker can be a useful tool, it's important to understand that it has its limitations and may require manual adjustments or a different approach for more complex scenes. This technique works best when the background has a different color or shade than the foreground. If the colors are too similar, it may not work as effectively. Just like in the previous methods, start by duplicating the video layer. Next, go to the Effects panel and search for Color Key. Drag and drop the Color Key effect onto the duplicated video layer. In the Effect Controls panel, click on the pen icon next to the Color Key effect. Now click on the background of your video where you want the text to appear. Adjust the color tolerance slider in the Effect Controls until the text shows up clearly. If the text still isn't visible, click the pen icon again and try selecting a different area of the background. To further refine the effect, you can try adjusting the edge thin and edge feather settings of the Color Key in the Effect Controls panel. Once you're satisfied with the adjustments, it's a good idea to render the sequence for smoother playback while editing. To do this, go to Sequence in the top menu and select Render into Out. This will help ensure that your video plays back smoothly as you continue editing. And that's it. You've now learned 3 different methods for placing text behind moving objects in Adobe Premiere Pro. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and consider subscribing for more tips and tricks on video editing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.